Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Barbarian. This movie is directed by Cregger. The movie stars Georgina Campbell, Alexander Skarsgård, and Justin Long. Now, the plot of this movie is about a woman who rents an Airbnb. And she learns as soon as she arrives that it's been double booked and there's somebody else standing there. But then this leads to a dark secret. Now, that's all I'm allowed to tell you. If you have not seen the trailer to this movie or read a synopsis, don't. Do what I did. Go in blind, not knowing anything about this movie except for its unique title. Now, my thoughts and speculation about this movie when someone tried to tell me about it was like, okay, a girl tries to rent this place, there's somebody else there, sinister stuff ensues. So I thought maybe the guy that was there is a psychopath. I didn't know why it was called Barbarian. I thought this was going to be some like really dark, sadistic horror movie, and I was already apprehensive. But I saw the movie, and let me say that for a movie with that plot synopsis, for as little of a cast that it has, this movie was wild. Very well done, but wildly unexpected. Now, this movie is an hour and 45 minutes long, but it feels so much longer. And that's good, because this movie starts off with this girl arriving at this Airbnb. It's downpouring. She's on the phone with people trying to figure out something. You know, stuff's already not working out for her. And then she meets this young man played by Alexander Skarsgård. And you meet him, and he seems nice, but a little off. And that's the theme of this whole movie is, you know, things appear normal and real, but you're waiting for that thing, that moment, that event, that scene for you to go, oh! You're waiting for something to happen. And that's one thing that I can praise this movie highly for, is that Cregger drags out the suspense. He drags out the tension so well, because something will happen. A character will go to a location, a room, make a decision, whatever. And as the audience member, you're there screaming at the, yelling at the screen, don't do it, don't go in there, run, go away. And that's the great thing about horror movies is, yeah, a lot of times characters do some dumb decisions, but sometimes they'll think. They'll use their brain, and they'll do something smart or clever. But then they'll continue down the rabbit hole. This movie is like that. It's the best way I can describe it is this movie goes down the rabbit hole. It's like an onion. It's got so many layers to it, because just when you think, okay, this is what the plot's going to be, this is who the antagonist is, this is what's going to happen, it keeps going. And it keeps going. And it keeps going. And you're like, I want to know what happens, but at the same time, I don't. Because it's just going to get more dark and more sinister. Now, as I said, this movie felt real. Everything that happens in this movie felt like it could actually happen. The stuff with Georgina Campbell, Alexander Skarsgård, these people that are first apprehensive of each other, they get along, stuff happens. Justin Long is also in this. His situation, let me just say, he's not a nice person in this movie, but the situation he finds himself in, also realistic. This movie has a couple other very minor characters in it. One of them is played by the actor Richard Brake, who always plays like just weird, creepy characters. He's in a lot of Rob Zombie movies and Doom as well. His character doesn't say a whole lot, but his storyline, his small subplot, realistic. So because this movie is real, but also just, it gets wild. It's like, if you ever watch people like Markiplier on YouTube, who does 3 Scary Games, or anyone that plays a horror game they're not familiar with, a lot of the concept is this. Your character wakes up or finds himself in one location. Seems peaceful enough, whether it's a home, a restaurant, a store, whatever. But then something downstairs, or something in the basement, or something in that vicinity is like this horrendous monster thing that's trying to get you. That's what this movie reminded me of. It's because you think the film's going to go one way, where like this girl's going to get stalked by a creepy guy or something like that. But then it just takes a left turn and you're like, oh my gosh, if this is what they have to try to escape, get away from, survive, whatever, not only is that really scary, but also just, you're like, wow, I did not expect that at all. And that's the best way I can describe this movie. It's a pleasant surprise. It's wild. Characters are going to make decisions where you're like, oh my gosh, I did not see that coming. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you waiting for the jump scare, for the moment for you to go, okay, that's it, I'm done. But like a car accident, you want to keep watching. So Barbarian, very well done movie. This has been a good year for horror films. We had X, now we have this, then we have Pearl coming out, so it's going to be great. So because Barbarian was very unexpected, the acting was good, and again, it felt realistic, and that's sometimes the scariest thing when it comes to horror movies. I'm going to give Barbarian an A. So until next time, guys, see ya.